Hey, I'm live. I think I'm live. Yeah, it looks like I'm live. We're going live. Only because I just feel like it. I don't know. It's kind of random that I feel that way. Only because normally I feel like I plan streams. I was gonna make a video and I didn't feel like making a video. I just felt like streaming. So I'm gonna do some streaming. Maybe I'll make a video after. We'll see how that goes. I did invite some people. We'll see if anyone shows up. But if they don't, this is still going to be a good time because I actually have some things planned just for entertainment purposes. We'll see how it goes. Maza Monty, hello. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. If you watched my last video, Pumpkins for Everyone. Yeah. Ken Jackman, hello. I've been reading Hellboy. And first off, this library edition is awesome. I'm really sold on this format. It is really nice to have like oversized hardback. I like that a lot. Matthew Fowler, hello. Muskie Elon, hello. Always great to see you. Okay, so I saw something really interesting in the forward of this. I want to share this first, but we definitely have some stuff to go over. But there was, I think it was a forward, there's an introduction. No, there's the introduction. There's two introductions. I thought one would be called the forward. It wasn't. It's called introduction. Probably should have found this part exactly. But this guy, Robert Bloch, I'm not familiar with him. Robert Bloch. I don't know. You guys know him? He wrote the forward or the introduction, not the forward. And yeah, I looked at it and I thought this was really interesting. Basically, he said, I'm gonna have to summarize because I can't find the exact location where he said it, but he said that normally he has a very liberal perspective on everything. But he said that perspective breaks down once he looked at Mike Mignola. He said that not all vision is created equally. I thought that was fascinating. In that Mike Mignola is a genius, essentially. And he just has better vision than your average Joe. Not even average, because I think to be a comic artist, it doesn't take an average person. It's something very specific. But yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting. I should really find the correct line so I can read it, but I didn't come that. I'm a little prepared, but not that prepared. That was interesting. Anyway, this has been really fun for me because this is the first book a comic that I, in a long time, that I found myself at work thinking about, and I wanted to go home and continue reading it. So yeah, that was, I don't know, it was just cool. I enjoyed that feeling. It felt great. I love that. So yeah, so far I'm digging Hellboy a lot. I've only read it one shot once before. Let's see. Gus Tyler Bush, hello. Says, hey, Clint. Telium 29, welcome. Matthew Fowler. He was the writer of Psycho. Oh, I did not know that. Hell Xenu, peace be upon him. Is that a Scientology thing, or am I mixing things up? Hell Xenu? I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with that though. Sure. All right. There's a few things to talk about. 30 people here. All right, this is good. This is good. We're not going to just talk about Hellboy, but we are going to talk about some stuff. And I'm going to reorganize some things here because I want to see if somebody jumps into the stream, I have to let them in. So I just want to make sure that I do see them when they do pop in. So we're going to share the screen. Go with this side. Share. Here we go. All right. I titled this. I'm not going to bury the lead here. I titled this, I Googled myself. I don't normally do this, but I got thinking, I was talking to somebody about what people say about you online and how once you put a book out, it's going to intensify because then everybody has an opinion. And yeah, and it was funny because, again, in both of these introductions for Hellboy, both writers, each of them, said that Mike Mignola was really hard on himself all the time. And I'd heard that a little bit, but just to see it reinforced from several different perspectives. Let's see, Scott Alley, he wrote the first introduction, and his was really, really nice, well written as well. Yeah, and he said Mike Mignola is very, very hard on himself, and he's racked with self-doubt all of the time. And I just find that amazing because just going through the art, I mean, the story is really interesting too, but just going through the art, it's like there's nothing like it. It's so cool. But yeah, anyway, so I Googled myself. I decided to go onto Kiwi Farms. I've never been onto Kiwi Farms before. You guys been onto Kiwi Farms? It was funny because I started to open an account there because I just wanted, I don't know, I just thought maybe I'll open an account. And then it had like 4 different levels of are you sure? It basically said like use a VPN blocker. Make sure that whatever you say here is, it's free speech, but it can't be traced back to you or something like that. It had all these checks. And so I was like, do I really? I would just wanted to get in and check it out. So I don't know. Its reputation precedes it. It's funny though, because I felt like I check out 4chan every now and then just to read things. Mostly I'm looking for funny stories. But yeah, Kiwi Farms is, I don't know why, just different. Oh yeah, Xenu is a Scientology thing. I thought so. Yeah. I watched a documentary about it once. Yeah, I don't know. That's as far as I'll get into it, I guess. Alois. You gotta tell me how to pronounce it someday. But hello, great to see you as always. Bevo Burn, welcome. Cool. All right, so yeah, I looked myself up, and I thought, why not? We'll just see what's going on. Maybe I got to the wrong thing, but the only chatter that happened about me on Kiwi Farms was about my campaign. And so this Sweetcast guy just launched his own Indiegogo a few hours ago, and it's already almost funded. I think this was just on Twitter, maybe his YouTube channel. And then there it is, 83% funded. And there's the campaign. $7,000 was the goal. Jeez. I was thinking it was a little bit more. Maybe I wished it was more. Funny thing is though, next time I'm going to make it less. It's going to be smaller of a goal. It'll be like, because I'm so dialed in to doing Downcat, like the second part, that it doesn't make sense to have a higher goal. So it's going to be low, like $1,000, and we'll just blow through it really quickly. Because it doesn't matter. I'm making it no matter what, basically. Yeah, sorry, watching the chat too. You know what's funny is when I'm making regular videos, it's like you feel this pressure to speak quickly because that's how YouTube videos are. People lose their interest, but you can cut out the pauses to keep things going quickly. But when you're live, it's just not the same, especially when there's no one to talk to. So I'm just, there's some pausing. Let's see. Danny Agent says, ask Joshua Moon, the creator of Kiwi Farms, to appear on the show. I don't know Joshua Moon. How do you contact him? Is he on Twitter or just Kiwi Farms? So I'd have to create an account, I guess. That would be interesting though, because I do have a lot of questions about it. I just thought, is it like Reddit basically? It's just, it's just forums and things. All right. Yeah. So the funny thing is, and people mentioned this before, and that is that my campaign was funded really quickly, and it was funded basically just off the power of this YouTube channel. That's not the complete story, because it was also funded because of the mailing list, but that was a good way. This is the same conversation that I had on Twitter earlier this morning. What is better? Someone described it as YouTube is like using a wrench to hammer nails in. That's what it's like for crowdfunding. And I said, if YouTube is a wrench, then I don't know what a hammer is. Like, what is it? Because if there's a hammer, I want to use the hammer, right? I wouldn't want to use a wrench. So I guess the hammer is a mailing list. But you're not going to make a mailing list unless you have a way to like talk to a lot of people about it frequently. Like one of those people. Here we go. Eric Weathers. Hello there.
One of these people. What do you mean? What do you mean these people?
you know, it's just my internalized racism, I guess.
I understand.
How you doing, Eric?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for jumping in. I just thought I'm just gonna stream, so I posted the link. So I'm glad you jumped in. Because it's like it's just a lot easier to stream when there's someone to talk to.
I agree.
Yeah,
Well,
I
chat's
don't.
good and all, but I mean, who are we kidding? Really? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a little behind is the thing. So you ask a question and it's like talking to somebody that's down the street, maybe. Like you've got to yell and then what?
Hey,
What was that? Yeah.
what? Can I?
You've done some crowdfunding.
Yeah. Could I interest you in a gobstopper?
Oh yeah, I'll just joink.
Yeah. Here, let me open the top. Go reach right in there.
Right down.
Right in there. There you go.
There we go. You notice that my name, I changed it to Sweet Tea.
That's you gotta give the people what they want. I'm trying not to be loud with this giant box of gobstoppers.
You will wake up your kids.
I will. It's louder than the guitar.
Yeah.
By the way, after what was it, last night, 2 nights ago? I started learning like a new song.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's new. I will say it's not new. It's a very old song, but it's new to me. It's new to my heart.
Nice.
I was like, because I needed an easy acoustic strumming song. I don't have an acoustic, but I needed an acoustic strumming song. So I started learning Times Like These from Les Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I've seriously been on this Tool kick. So I learned another Tool song, but well, kind of. You know, it's like they have all the little intricacies that I still need to work those out. But 46 and 2, I think is that the right numbers? 46 and 2.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't listen to a lot of Tool.
Yeah, I didn't really used to, but yeah, since I don't know, more recently.
I've never really given them a fair shake, honestly. I mean, the radio stuff, you hear it and it's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
but I've never gone into their catalog.
They've got a couple like really impressive songs, just musically. Like timing, the time signatures are always impressive to me. Like you try to count it out and figure out what on earth. But yeah, 46 and 2 is good. I don't know anybody in the chat if you've got other suggestions, but I really like their brand new song, Fear Inoculum. It's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, 46 and 2, but what about 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another number song. It's Acoustic Number 3 by the Goo Goo Dolls. That's the only number song I know. Acoustic Number 5, Number 3. I don't know what.
I'm sure there are more.
Yeah. You ever Googled yourself, Eric?
I don't like to talk about it, but I'm a man.
Yeah. It's funny because
I'm not leaving, by the way. I'm just grabbing something.
I just got that. Yeah. In the house. Oh, Brian's here too. Hello, Ken Jack Ben. Hello. Great. Sharky Draws. Chimera. Hello. SSJ Future Gohan. Welcome.
I always say that.
Oh, did I say it wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Never mind. My jokes are falling flat today.
Okay. Ken Jack Ben says, Sweetcast, tell Eric to put his candy in a bowl so it'll stop making noise. You're starting to offend people.
I just grabbed one piece and now all of a sudden I'm being banished from the internet.
Yeah. Well, that happens. That's cancel culture for you.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I Googled myself. I went on to Kiwi Farms. I'm just curious, you know. I've never been on a Kiwi Farm. So I got on there and all I found was people talking about my campaign. That was it. This was back when the campaign, like the day it was launched and got funded. So like, all right, well, I guess that's fine. But that was it. Other than that, if I Google myself, I always find this guy that's in Texas or something that his like arrest records and his mugshots with the same name, apparently. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about, but it's a thing.
It's all about breaking the law.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know what he was arrested for, but I'm tempted to like shoot him an email or something if he's not still in prison, just to say you're giving us a bad name. us Clint
Yeah.
Stokers.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. All right. So that's enough of that. I Googled myself. Basically, I sent all the files. You know this, Eric. I sent all the files to the printer, and now it's like on their end. So the ball is out of our court. Eric finished
Yeah.
the letters.
I'm done.
Beautiful. Completely finished. You did the pre-press as well.
Yep.
Looks great. I particularly liked the credits page. I liked that quite a bit.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was good. And then yeah, and then I sent it to the printer. And so now they're telling me there's options of foil and metallicness that we can add to it, and that was part of the campaign. But I didn't know there were options, so it's just kind of weird to be going through. So I'm like, what looks cool? Like, you tell me. I don't
You're
know.
just trying to squeeze more money out of you, Clint.
I know. I'm like, can we just make it look nice and move on? That's all I want. I just want the book.
Yeah.
But I am
I'm gonna
glad
save
I
all
asked them. Sorry, what's that?
I was going to say, it depends on how well Oz does, but I'm saving all those bells and whistles for Oz.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If I could go back in time, I don't think I would promise. I don't know. Do stretch goals work really? I just don't see that happening for me, that I'm pushing a campaign more like as a backer
Yeah.
because I want the stretch goals. You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they work because I think you just have to do them smartly. By the way, you're going to see me wipe my nostril because I have one leaky nostril. Because yesterday, this is my commitment to books like Downcast. Yesterday, I had 100.5 feet temperature. And even then, I powered through and got the pages done.
His nose is running, and yet he's still correcting the bleed.
Yeah,
that's what it was yesterday.
I persisted.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it looks good. I'm so excited. It's kind of weird that I have a completed file. Like, technically, I could send out the PDF to everybody that got a PDF, but I feel like that would be a bad idea.
Yeah,
it'd be bad. So we're gonna send that out last.
Yeah, I think physical backers are the priority.
Yep.
And this is true. Not everybody's situation is the same, but this is true for me because I actually had to cancel a convention because I knew the way that the convention is on like the 11th or the 12th, something like that. And I knew I'd either wouldn't have the books in my stacked to piles behind me yet, or I would, and it would be bad form to go to a con and sell them while I haven't fulfilled a single, backer. So I said, I can't do it this time, fellas.
You would show up on a video, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
mofo drinking, eating gobstoppers, and selling books.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm gonna start with the top backers that paid the most. And just out of principle, there's not really that many, so it's like I'll get through those and get to the lower backers pretty quickly. But
that's a good idea.
Why not? I figured a little bit more incentive, So
yeah, because I have a handful of original art tiers that people are going to be wanting. Plus the winner and the winner of the not the raffle, but for signing up early, that guy gets a free page, and then there's the referral program that I got to do, which I forgot about till just about now. So
your campaign's still open though, right?
Yeah, it's still open. I'm thinking about
still time
setting a date, and it's going to be soon. Like I'm really thinking like second weekend in November, like the 9th or the 10th or whatever that day is.
Cool.
So yeah, just 2 or 3 weeks from now for closing it down.
Nice. Brian's asking, which printer are you using, Clint? I'm using API, though that's mainly because I think I would have been a little bit more experimental with looking around at other printers, but they do the foil stuff that I promised, so that's why I'm going with them. But there's some other printers out there, and this is definitely a thing I'm realizing is you don't want to get stuck. Eric and I were having this conversation actually on Twitter a couple days ago or whatever, a week ago or something, that there are other printers, and that they can give you a better deal sometimes. So always be looking.
Yeah, I looked at API. I got a pretty decent quote actually, but then I found
Yeah.
I wasn't beholden, so I found another, and I'm going to go that route.
Yeah.
If anything, it's going to just be a good litmus test for future campaigns. I've got their sample pack. It looks good enough for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had to go elsewhere for like my prints, and I'm waiting to hear back for the postcards. I had to do I went the same route that I went with my bookmarks. That's my bookmarks, and my patches are in those 2 boxes there.
Nice.
And got the postcards ordered. I'm waiting on the back design for the trading card, and that's going to be soon. It's to the guy, so we'll see.
Very cool. Yeah, it's exciting. I don't know, seeing I have all in my living room, all of these boxes stacked up with mailers, and I have literally everything ready except for the books. And the guy I've been working with at the printer, he did say that he's going to get me, like, the turnaround time is a lot faster than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
So once they get on their end, like, they have 2 different facilities, I guess, and depending on what I do with the cover, exactly the process for the foil shining business, it'll go to a different location, and so that'll change shipping costs and all these other things. So they're going to find that out and then let me know. So we'll see. I'm hoping that tomorrow, maybe it'll be Monday, that they schedule it and start printing. But then from there, it's like 10 days, 10 to 13 business days
Before it arrives at your house.
From the sounds, I think that's what he said. Yeah, when they ship it, I guess.
Okay.
But if they ship it, if they end up doing it from their California facility, then it's like, Utah. It's not far away at all. So that's really, really close. Anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I just want to get the book shipped out.
Amen. It's a real thing. I've done. Man, I'm sorry, I got a runny nose. I've done a few books before, just print on demand stuff. Even you order 100 books, and every time you see it in print, you're like, yes, it's real.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, my first comic. That's the thing. I've done like the other books, obviously, but my first comic, and then 2000. It was so weird because he was like, "You wanted 1,000, right?" I'm like, "No, we need 2,000 copies." Oh, Vaughn is here as well.
Do it.
2,000 by the end of the week, or else I'll starve your family. I'll starve you all. That's now that I'm a boss of people, I say that to threaten artists. I say, I'll starve you and I'll starve your family. Ha ha ha. I'm just kidding. How's it going, guys?
Good. You're
What's
like
up,
the Scrooge of comic books.
Yeah. That's gonna be my new persona, the Scrooge of comics.
Yeah.
Oh, get off my doorstep. I remember they used to make comics with actual pencils instead of them their computer things, you weirdos. I'm not paying you nothing. I'll starve you all. I don't know.
Like this?
But
I can't show you what I'm working on except to do this, and you can't see it.
Oh, secret.
Well,
dirty.
You guys know what I'm working on, but these guys over here, way over there on the other side, they can't know yet.
The world
Top secret material.
They're not ready for it yet. No,
White Chocolate holds all the secrets. He is the secret holder.
That's true.
Fill me in. Where did this white chocolate thing come from? What does that mean? Is this innuendo or?
Should we tell him about the party we had in Vegas, Eric? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not ready for that to happen, for that cat to get let out of the bag yet. Okay. We were on a stream.
I got you.
A while ago.
Yeah.
And I either had them at the time or mentioned that my favorite candy in the world were the white chocolate Reese's. The mini ones, the ones that are still in the wrapper, not the itty bitty ones that are just like floating in the bag, and not the normal size Reese's cups, but the minis. It's the perfect peanut butter.
Oh, the ratio.
And white chocolate.
White chocolate ratio, and then Vaughn just started calling me White Chocolate Weathers.
Okay.
I like it.
It's not as exciting of a story.
My imagination is going elsewhere.
Because everybody's like, Because we could tell them anything, Eric. Just
We
remember
could.
that. Like we could. So just in the future, maybe if we're like in like if we're ever at a Comic-Con together and they're like, why do you call them white chocolate? And I'll be like, should I tell them? And like I'll make up something awesome. Like you'll seem
Yeah.
like
Please
a
do.
hero.
That reminds me.
And after he saved those wee babes from the building, we all called him white chocolate. Wet. I don't know.
That reminds me. Little story time. I went on a cruise once, right at the beginning of my marriage, and at the cruise they had the newlywed game, and you have to understand, very like conservative upbringing and a very, especially at the time, very naive, and so we were like, oh sure, we'll volunteer, and then they picked us, as one of the couples for the
that's how
newlywed game.
They prey on innocence.
I
It's
know.
demonic.
It was so embarrassing because they got so personal with the questions. I'll just leave it at that. But it was really personal, and so we were like, trying to figure out how to survive it.
Oh my God.
And the thing was, then they record it and then they broadcast it. It was on the first night of the cruise, and so they broadcast it over on the television, like on a loop with other things that were happening on the ship. So everybody would stop us, like in the elevator, like walking anywhere, and they'd be like, "Hey, we know this," and then they would announce this little detail, intimate detail that we're just trying to survive. So, yeah, it was mortifying. But then afterward, we were like, okay, next time someone asks us, if we ever get asked that question or this question or that question, we need to have pre-planned answers that are extravagant
awesome.
and impressive, I should say.
That's I like that. That's like a good comedic scene you could put into your writing if you wanted. That's funny.
Yeah, man, it is funny. And like a part of the context, it's just like, I don't know. It was more funny. I would imagine it was more funny that we were in the situation than maybe other couples. I don't know. I don't want to get into the details. I don't need it recorded again. But
Dude, they
Yeah.
totally ruined your trip. They just ruined it.
I know.
They made you the laughing stock of the trip.
Yeah.
Or were there other couples? Tell me there were other couples.
There were other
please.
couples, but the thing was, we were the actually newlywed couple. They had a couple that was married like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and then like over like really, really old. I don't know, 40 years or something like that. And so, yeah, they asked them all the same questions, and they were more just, they had a better approach to it. They were smarter, more experienced, we were
Right, because they've been married for longer. Yeah,
Right,
That's
yeah.
how that's why they're still together.
not.
Do you
Yeah.
think
They
they Googled
figured it out.
themselves?
Sorry, what's that?
Can we
I said, do you
find
think
this?
they Googled
Can
themselves?
can we find this tape on YouTube's?
I don't know. I don't even know how you would find it. Honestly, you'd have to figure.
CarnivalCruiseArchives.com. I don't know if it's real.
It wasn't Carnival. It was.
Don't dox yourself, man. People are going to find it.
Yeah, they would.
Oh, I hope not. For
Yeah.
your sake.
I know.
Don't
Yeah,
listen to me. Those were horrible ideas.
It
Those
was-
were bad
it was
ideas,
bad.
guys. Don't do it.
It was bad. All right, here we go. Have you guys heard about this? Melissa McCartney and Octavia Spencer are ready to save the world on the set of their new superhero movie, Thunder Force. There they are. Who's excited?
Hey guys, superheroes sure are wacky. Yes, they sure are. Well, we could be heroes. Wouldn't it be wacky if we were heroes? Yeah. Write up the $1 million contracts now, Chuck. That's how this goes.
Yeah.
This is how we make movies now.
The Melissa McCarthy thing, she was doing well. She had like one good movie or something like that, or a couple. I didn't really keep track.
Yeah.
And they keep trying to make it work, and I feel like they missed it.
Yeah.
Everything she's
Yeah.
been in, it has been just terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of
Uh-huh.
like she had that big movie that made a lot of people fall in love with her, and she has a lot of talent. She definitely has talent. But I never got into her. It never really appealed to me. So like everything I've seen her in has been like Ghostbusters 2016, which was just the pits, the worst movie ever. Well, maybe not the worst movie, but pretty bad, yeah. Sorry, I'm turning into a pretentious film critic.
Yeah,
You were already there.
that was Bridesmaids.
I really feel like I was.
Pro wrestling team. What am I looking at? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought this was there. So
You're looking at the death of superheroes. This
I
is the
gotta say-
beginning.
there we
I
go.
gotta
This
say,
is it.
Octavia Spencer looks like she doesn't want to be there.
I know.
Like, what the hell am I doing there in this?
Here's what's gonna happen. Superheroes are gonna die for a few years, and then someone on a shoestring budget is gonna make a more gritty, badass, like make us remember, beat us over the face with why we like superheroes, doing everything right, and it's gonna make us like superheroes a little more again. I think they'll make a comeback, rise, like Phoenix, or else my career is over. People, don't let me down.
Well, it's like I don't know. Don't they say like once you start doing the parody of the thing and everything becomes parody, then at that point you're at the end. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but
there've been sort of parody superhero stuff for a long time.
Lawrence says I'm out. The stream is awful. Thanks, Lawrence. Here we go. Here's another one here for you. All right, so we'll change the subjects here.
That'd be great.
Have you guys heard the hashtag going around? I saw it once. Like, I don't know how far this is going around. Maybe what if Mark Waid was right? Have you seen this?
No, it sounds stupid already.
I know. I'm like, I don't know.
What would he have?
That sounds like it's made up. It's made up by people just trying to cause drama, not because they're actually trying to understand or wonder about what if Wade's right. No, they're not trying to really figure anything out.
And that's why I'm like, I don't really want to pull it up because I don't want to be pointing people. I don't want to be pointing fingers at individuals that are using the hashtag. I was just like, what is
right about what is what I want to know.
Right. Well, so that's a good question then. Was it right about calling up Antarctic Press to tell them, putting in a call in to tell them that the hordes of hell shouldn't be descending on them? You know what I mean? Like, what was he right about preventing people or threatening people from going to conventions? Like, what exactly was he right about? I'm not.
I would say nothing, but I'll say this: it's worked out well for me in particular.
If Mark Waid was right, your boy Zach would be a card-carrying, evil, secret, operative, white supremacist, like tricking everyone with, even though there's like thousands and thousands of videos, no one could put it together, but the junior decoding SJW team figured it out. It's just, none of that's real though.
No, you're right.
That's the product of a delusional mind.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But was he better off? Did Mark Waid do a favor for a lot of people?
I think so.
I've thought about this.
An unintentional one, but I mean, honestly, it's like, had that not happened, CG wouldn't be as big as it is now. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it.
So
I was there like just because I liked a Diversity in Comics video that I discovered, I think on like a Gamergate forum. And so like I was just a little before you guys, and I saw the whole milkshake thing go down. And that was like a small explosion right there. Like, cause that was like one of the first attacks, but we weren't called Comicsgate, but that was like one of the catalysts towards going there. I think the Mark Waid thing kind of cemented the deal, even though the milkshake thing kind of started talks about it.
Yeah.
Battle lines were kind of drawn by them when they did articles about that. It was nasty.
Right. And then the articles have just stopped completely.
Yeah, I think they.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, really, they have. All the hit pieces and stuff have stopped. I mean, they didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. I hope not.
I mean,
the only thing you see is the occasional Bleeding Cool article now.
Well, they're irrelevant. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Things have definitely shifted a little bit Feels like a gear shift. I don't know. I'm not sure how to make sense of it either, but it feels a little different. For sure. Eric, when did you hear about all that? Was this just last year then? Like last September, August, somewhere around there?
Ish, yeah. Hang on a second. So I've told this story before, but basically what I had finished Flying Fortress in 2017, and I sort of finished comics because I was really burnt out, and Vaughn just up and disappeared like oh my goodness,
He's a demon.
completely in the dark. I kind of put comics to the side, and I started painting, as my output. I still see your teeth. As my creative output was in painting.
That's racist. No, I'm just
And I wasn't on Facebook or anything, but I sort of popped my head in. This is right around the time when the ideas for Oz were coming around. And I was like, should I do this or that with it? Or is it going to be concept art? Or is it going to be, whatever? And I popped my head on Facebook, and one of my Facebook friends, who's no longer a Facebook friend, because once you get hired by the enemy of the SJWs,
Oh yeah.
you become the enemy to the SJWs. And so he was like, hey, we got Jawbreakers canceled. Woo. And I was like, what the heck's Jawbreakers? Who's this ya boy Zach fella? And so I Googled it, and that was right around the time when everything was sort of kicking off there, and he was talking about this guy Ethan Van Sciver and how they doxed his divorce
Oh yeah.
back, and I was like, what's going on? So then that's how I found EVS, and sort of just snowballed from there. It's like I watched some of you boys' videos, and I was like, I kind of agree with what this guy's saying.
So did you first find the oppositional stuff first? I always find this interesting.
Yeah,
the hit
but it was
pieces.
just because it was a Facebook friend's post about it, and I think he worked at not Alterna, Antarctic, or wrote for them or something. There was some connection there. Like, we were not super close, but we sort of ran in the same circles.
Yeah.
But it was just like, what's this? Huh, that's weird. Let me check it out. And here we are.
Right.
Oh wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
for
a weird
posting.
thing is I saw the hit pieces first. No, first it was I wasn't really on Twitter, but I saw some Twitter posts and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, so sorry." And then I went and saw the GoFundMe, Mark Wade's GoFundMe, and I was like, "What is?" And then he said it was a racist hate group, and that to me was a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, every time I've ever heard anyone called a racist or part of a hate group, it has been wildly exaggerated. So then, I just I went to YouTube. It's funny, I don't know. It just seemed like that's always where I can get the other side of the story is YouTube.
Yeah.
And so,
Guys, that's become so prevalent in our culture right now that even my parents will sit down with me as we eat dinner. My parents are like mid 60s to almost 70s, and they want to watch YouTube just so they can see the alternative views and something that they can relate to, because Hollywood has pretty much squeezed everything, a lot of the joy out of a lot of TV these days. So
then
it's gotten weird.
The comment section, even like the Jim Jeffries special, and then I look down at the comment section and you see all these people you're a liar, all this stuff, and so there's there's another side. Exactly. Yeah, it's such a hit piece. It's insane. I really wish he would have got on the Joe Rogan show. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been great. I think that ship has sailed, but man.
Yeah, man. I couldn't believe that he bumbled that up. I was just like, what?
I know.
Of course, Joe Rogan was the next step,
That's big. I mean, you could argue that's the biggest, right now, that you could go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bigger than if you went on any network news, it'd be bigger. Bigger than Comedy Central, that's for sure.
Right now, yes.
And then it'd be long form, unedited. You would see everything. Yeah, there'd be no question.
But it's too late now. Joe's moved up in the world. You're not as pretty a gal anymore. Is it your boy Zach? You're not. And because now at this point, it feels like Joe could interview a lot more people lately, higher profile people.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
The thing is,
He
I
just
heard
did that thing with Snowden.
right.
Yeah, he did.
He'll
I
have-
saw that thumbnail. First saw the thumbnail, and I thought, oh, it's a spoof one, because the thumbnail was like him cut out and put on the side.
Yeah,
Because there's
Yeah.
always this like Joe Rogan versus Joe Rogan. So that
those are hilarious.
arguing himself.
Yeah,
So I thought it was something like that, but that was legit. I still haven't watched it. But
yeah. It's crazy. I've heard though to get on the Joe Rogan, like they're always looking for guests because he just does it so often that his producer is just constantly looking, and so often they'll get people and then they never set a date, and so it's not certain that even if he did agree to it that he'd actually get on the show. That's possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very
but
true.
it would have been awesome. Would have been cool. It does really feel like it doesn't matter anymore. It has that ship has sailed for sure. Let's see. Oh,
yeah,
Brian.
I mean,
Yeah.
except maybe there's a chance if, depending on how the Mark Wade case goes,
That's true. That is true.
it might pop a little thing up, and then Rogan might go, "I need to talk with this dude. We need to chat."
What happens if we lose? I hate to say that,
That's
but
the most depressing thing.
I
Oh.
know, but I look at the Vic Mignogna thing, and I realize it's just a totally different case anyway. But the sadness that ensued.
Oh, is that
immediately.
over? I haven't been following it.
Well, I mean, I think there's appeals and stuff. I'm not the source for this kind of stuff, but yeah, the judge basically threw it out, is what I've been hearing. So yeah, let me catch this real quick. Brian Christago. All right, Christgau. Oh, there we go. For $5, thank you very much. Says, for me, it was like Gamergate. I heard one story, did 5 minutes of research, and found out that the official story was total BS. Yep, that's pretty much it. Like, and I wonder how many people just don't do the 5 minutes of research. Like, clearly, like we all did. It wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am interested to see what happens next, though. It could just because nothing has happened. The smartest thing that they've done is just ignore everyone.
Yeah, that's
Honestly.
true.
Yeah. Let's see. I actually saw the original story behind CG before I ever heard anything from SJW. So for the longest time, I couldn't understand why anybody was on Quinn's side. Oh, that's Gamergate, and that's a whole other ball wax. Yeah, I didn't really.
I know Gamergate, man, is weird because I know way too much about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could talk someone through the entirety of Gamergate, but it would take a long time.
It's a long saga.
Yeah.
I followed. I watched a lot of videos from Sargon of Akkad, and that was about what I had my understanding of it. And then also Anita Sarkeesian was supposed to speak here at Utah State University, and somebody called in a bomb threat, and so she canceled the whole thing.
You mean she called in a bomb threat?
Well, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll never know.
Just checking. Just checking.
Yeah. Who knows? Could have been.
It was that bomb threat was at the height of all of these higher profile women claiming they were under vicious attack, and people were going, "Are you really though?" It seems to me, they were.
Yeah.
The gamers were pissed because they were trying to have a conversation about something and they were denied that conversation, and then they were slandered as these evil, horrible men that just hate women. And it was done so intensely that they even made like a Law and Order episode around it, which was one of the most hysterical things I've ever seen in my life. But they did. They had a Law and Order where gamers were beating the hell out of girls just for wanting to play games and
Just for the
leaving them
lulz.
bloody and a bathroom floor. They're bleeding, and the gamers were like, bam, 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 and beat her up. And then they ran off, and this chick went up to her, picked her up. She's all bloody in the mirror, and she's like, "What did they do?" And the bloody chick's like, "They leveled up."
Are you serious?
Yes, that's the actual dialogue. You can look it up on YouTube.
Wow.
It is so bad and it is so hilarious, but at the same time, it's dark and scary because it was like all these people that Hollywood got together to be like, we need to tell the people who play video games that they're awful people, and they just coordinated and just That's an insane event that happened.
They
And
think
it was
we
the
level-
left acting insane,
Yeah.
not the gamers, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty par for the course these days, unfortunately.
Well, that's the thing is that's how like how do you solve this problem? Well, first I'm not gonna argue that it is a problem, but that's again from their point of view. There's a problem here. What are we gonna do? We're gonna educate people on what's wrong with them, you know. And so rather than even that the education is just vilify. That's what it is. It's like scare you away, you know, from like I remember the Anita Sarkeesian videos. It was like Mario is sexist because you're saving the princess.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but always like I remember as a boy growing up, I'd even have dreams about there was some kind of terrible situation at school, and you know I beat up the bad guy and save the day, you know, and save the cute girl that sits in front of me, you know. It's just that's boys' fantasies, you know. That's why that entertainment works.
Yeah,
that kind of entertainment works for boys.
You know what's funny? I was watching this creepy ass show on Netflix that my girlfriend wanted to watch, and she was like, it's about this guy who's stalking the girl he's in love with. Okay, it's awful, right? But like, my girlfriend was like, it's kind of cool the way he's always looking out for her like that, and I'm just like, are you nuts? But like, it's so built into women to want, like they get a thrill from thinking a guy's going to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like it's part of our evolution. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
but,
yeah. Oh, I saw this thing on Twitter today that was just hilarious. I'll have to find it. They said men and women's brains work different. I got to find this. It's worth it. It's worth finding. Yeah, because there's no fundamental difference between men and women's brains.
Wrong.
Yeah, but this is proof otherwise. I got to find this.
Trump wrong GIF here.
Yeah.
Keep talking. I found it. Okay, I'm gonna share this. This is worth it. Here we go. Share screen. Here you go. There we go. Right here.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There's no fundamental difference between men and women. Men. They're playing pool. Yep.
Oh.
So
They're
funny.
so proud of themselves.
I know. That's the thing is they're just very pleased. And the thing is, there's a girl in the foreground here, and look, she's impressed.
Yeah, man.
You know?
She's sizing him up. She's like, "Which one do I want?"
The guy, the pool stick. Is that the one?
the guy who drives the stick, or the guy who is the stick?
Right. Oh man.
This is what they have to think about.
This needs to
Look at
be.
these guys. That's funny.
This needs to be a meme. Like, just there is no fundamental difference between men and women, and then you show, like, again, you could find so many examples from women, even, man, like so many things, and just try to reverse the roles. Try it.
Yeah. It's true. We're never. Oh, we're so inventive. We're so inventive on the fly. Let's use you as a pull cue, bruh.
And no one,
because they did that, the whole crew's gonna have to do it now. Like everybody's gonna have to be the cue at one point to impress the girls or whatever. Yeah.
You know what I love?
Looks safer.
They're congratulating the guy that's the pool stick, and I think that he had the least to do with it.
Great job.
He's just there whacking it, but they're like, "You did it, man."
It's always good to have a friend with a hard head
who
doesn't give a damn.
Hey, maybe he won a bet. Maybe he won his $20 or something.
Yeah,
worth
it. They want her phone number.
Yeah, probably. Love that. Anyway, I thought it was funny. We're wrong. Are we misogynists? That's the question for the chat.
Maybe.
Let's see. Explain that, ladies. This is full. Yep. Here we go. Another one. Women don't do that? Question mark. I don't think so. I'd love to see an example. How else are you supposed to play pool? Great question. Yeah.
Great
That's
question.
reasoning. Love
I
that.
like the chat here. They're asking the serious questions, the hard hitting questions about life,
This is the best.
life and men and women and just relationships.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm
So,
trying to.
Yes.
Men like to
It's
blow
true.
stuff up. There you go, Vaughn. There's your face back. Curious, Vaughn, what are you reading now? Or are you reading something now? I've had to force myself because it's like all the writing and everything. It's like I'm not reading. I feel like that's a problem. Rectifying it, but
I am reading Hillbilly by Eric Powell.
oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay.
You
So
liking it?
Eric Powell's the guy who did The Goon.
Uh-huh.
You know The Goon.
I know the Goon.
And it's awesome. This was his next big creation after The Goon, where it's kind of rustic fairy tales. It's a mix of kind of like hillbilly lore with this kind of mythological, kind of epic, horrific, brutal lore where like you'll see a hillbilly on the road, but he'll have like a sweet sword. Like you'll see, it's kind of funny in that way, but that's Eric Powell for you. He's got a good sense of humor but to everything he does. Hillbilly's not, it's very serious, but it does have funny and kind of human moments. It's very beautifully done. I really dig Eric Powell's stuff. So it's got that weird funky mix of like genres that kind of appeals. Everybody talks like a total like old school bumpkin, but they're not just an old school bumpkin. There's an eloquence to the way they talk. Just like if you were, let's say you were reading a medieval fantasy, well, everyone would talk with a British accent and they would have that style. This is kind of like him taking that and bringing it over into Americana hillbilly style. So,
oh, nice. Well, cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Do you see things that you want to incorporate in your writing, or you feel like it's always like it's set? You know what I mean?
it's getting set, but it's not set. I feel like I still have
Yeah.
a ways to go because I want to be like the best writer I can be. My goal is
Absolutely.
to be a writer that people want to come to for advice, or to work on projects, to help with projects, or to pitch ideas. Pitch ideas. I want to work with great artists and team up with people, and just I want to be kind of a go-to. So I'm just working very hard to achieve that.
I've been kind of thinking about that a little bit, and it seems like if you're set, that's a problem. I was kind of thinking, I wonder, I'm just throwing this out there, but I wish that I could like even just pay Chuck Dixon or somebody, some professional writer that is seasoned and knows what they're doing, and just say, hey, will you work on me a little bit? Can I send you some scripts and, just help me? I feel like I need a mentor. Like that would be really helpful in comics.
Yeah. Okay. Hint taken, Clint. I'm here. I embrace you.
You want to be my mentor?
I think I'm starting to become the age where I can mentor. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm working on it. I saw gray hair. Gray hair the other day. My chin. Yeah. But no, I feel like I kind of semi want to be a mentor, but I kind of don't. You know what I mean? So I haven't crossed over yet.
Yeah.
But who knows?
It's one of those things. I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like how would you create better writers? Again, like I keep talking about this. I'm reading Hellboy, and I'm going through this, and I know the beginning is John Bryan that wrote it. It's just so well written, and so I don't know. I'm just like, it's good. Like just the prose, even there's these big blocks of text. They're in there at the beginning, and it's just well done. And so I don't know. I feel like that's what's missing is like some kind of mentorship in comics. That's what I want.
It's there. It exists.
Who say what, Eric?
I said it's there. It exists. You have to pay for it though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to drop some coin.
Yeah. It's here. I used to want a mentor, but I've made a lot of stuff since then. My cat is like right here on my desk being a punk. Sorry. But I've made a lot of stuff since then. And now here's what happened, man. A mentor kind of broke my heart too. I'm not kidding. I started to have a mentor in college, and then he tried to use like I really looked up to him, and he seemed to like really be there for me and really like respect me. The mentor has to see something special in you too. It can't just be you have, I want you to be my, they have to see something special. So you need to like show up at Chuck Dixon's house with like a bottle of whiskey and a shotgun and just be like, let's write. You know what I mean? And he'll be like, oh, there's something special about this. Anyway, but like, but like this guy seemed to see something special with me. And then it was tragic. He tried to use me to write, like take his operas and write them in all this like format, this crazy opera format for him. And he tried to convince me to do it for restaurant coupons instead of money, which would have made it like, so I couldn't pay my rent. And then, so I told him I couldn't do it, which that should be fair. But instead he was like mad about it. And he was like, how could you? He was a dramatic opera guy. He was like, how could you do this to me? And it was like, oh no, Obi-Wan, I didn't mean to, I was like, no, but yeah, like it kind of jaded me on mentors. Maybe I felt like just had to move on after that.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I keep seeing this happening a lot. It's kind of like they say, if you go to prison and someone offers you a candy bar on the first day, turn it down, don't take it. But yeah, it's almost like, if people are nice, there's other motives, and I feel like, again, like I just want professional development as a writer. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was it Ethan's stream earlier today? He was talking about editors.
Yeah.
How they used to work.
Yeah.
You used to get that stuff on the job. They would correct you as you go.
Right.
They take your skill and turn it into talent, or your talent and turn it into skill.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing, though, is in indie comics. This is why I'm like, I'm torn. Because if I had a chance to write for a publisher, I just think that would be really good experience. I don't get me wrong. No one's even offered such a thing, but writing for an established publisher would be good because you would get the experience. And is that why everybody loves and respects pros, that are in comics, in Comicsgate and everything, because they have that experience that they're bringing,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I have no way to, I'm just kind of sounding off on it, I guess, but I would be interested if there's a comic professional out there that's a writer or an editor, and you want to mentor or something. I'm sure there are others too. I bet Vaughn would, as long as you don't make him work for free.
Yeah, don't pay him in coupons. You should be all right.
Yeah,
please don't. Those were dark days. I was working for coupons so I could go get a bowl of soup.
That is sad.
No, that never happened. It never happened. I wouldn't accept that. That's bad. That's bad, man. I was graduated from college and I had trained under him, and I had built my own lightsaber by then. I was ready to rock, and he's all like, "I'm going to use you to do this." Blah blah. It was like this. Yeah, it was not cool.
Yeah.
No amount of Panera bread, okay, people. No amount of Panera bread.
It's a much better situation if it's clear, like, I get this, you get this. Because that's how people are. Really, I believe there's no such thing as a free lunch. And so if somebody wants to do you a favor and you're doing them a favor, and it's clear that there's some kind of exchange, like something you're both getting out of it, then that's great. But yeah, coupons are not the route to go.
You want vouchers. Coupons are no good. You want a voucher instead.
Vouchers are better. Yeah.
Vouchers.
Vault Kobold says, respect is a two-way street and favors are not the currency character is. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I think about that. Yeah, favors, I don't know. It'd have to be defined, I guess. I don't know. It just had to be clear, I guess, like what you're getting. Money. That's why money's so good. If you agree on, hey, I pay you this, you do this, we're good. That just works better. Let's see. Brian says, so in the old comic system, there definitely was a mentorship program of sorts. Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I see that.
Those were the days,
some artists
man.
will.
Those were the days.
Some artists will bring on, will help other up and comers, take them under their wing, sort of behind the scenes, or that's why conventions were so good back in the day. Is you could show somebody your portfolio and they'd say, hey, this is pretty good. Here's my email address. Let me send me some stuff in 6 months, and I'll that's art. I'm certain it's probably similar to writing, but
right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like writers groups are good, but usually in a writers group you have like the one writer. This is my experience anyway. You have the one writer that's a little bit more experienced than everyone else, but not really. And you've all been like reading the material and like working on things, but I don't know, it's the experience, I guess, and that just might be me and my experience. But Eric, didn't you have a mentor or somebody at least that you got some notes from or something?
Yeah, back in the I've had, I don't know if I would say mentor, but I've had some good counsel briefly from Zach Howard, for one, has been one of my best portfolio reviewers. And for those of you that don't know, Zach Howard, he draws the Cape, and he did a book called Wild Blue Yonder, and the Cape by Joe Hill, and a bunch of other stuff, Shaun of the Dead, and some Alien stuff back in the day. And I really glommed onto his style. I thought it was digital, to be honest with you. It's so carved. His black and whites are very carved, if that makes sense. Like, he layers black and whites on top of each other where the image is fully carved out. That's why I thought it was digital, and then I saw him work, and it's completely not digital. But he was very good at giving me counsel. I mean, he gave me his number. I never called him back. It's one of those. He's like, hey, give me a call if you ever have any questions, that kind of thing. Very, very nice guy. And then somebody else that has been sort of a sensei of sorts has been Freddie Williams. I live in Kansas, so I would go to Planet Comic Con, and we sort of befriended one another. And I went to his house every once in a while, and once or twice a year there for a while. And I'd always bring my stuff, and he'd point me in the right direction. So there, actually, you're going to see, I paid my son a quarter a page to scan in a bunch of old stuff that never got scanned in. So he made a good chunk of change. But you're going to see old pages that I showed him and said, you might want to try XYZ. So what you see in the story are his adjustments, and what you're going to see in the back are what my original things were, like the way characters were facing, pacing of different panels and things like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those two guys for sure.
Oh, cool. Okay, switching gears here a little bit. I hope that's okay. Every time I switch gears, it's like you can see the crowd leaving and then coming again. Like, people just filter out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to make a video. I actually did make a video about this, and I decided not to post it, mainly because I didn't want it to step on the toes. I made 2 videos. I didn't want to step on the toes of it. So this is interesting. The Red Rooster announcement. I mean, Eric, you probably know a little bit more about this.
I know even more than what this says. Yes,
I'm sure. I'm sure you do. Yeah, I would hope so. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have a question. If you can answer it, I'm just curious. So he said there's almost 1 million comics were sold through a big retailer. Are those 1 million number ones of the 4 titles, or are we talking 6 issues? Because I know it's going for 6 months, so that's the 6 issues between them. It's 1 million.
That I'm not sure about.
Okay, because I was like, I want to compare that to Indie-Cron numbers. I guess I just don't know enough really to do that, but that's significant. What's the highest selling book? I've got to look this up, I guess. Not Indie-Cron. There, I gotta stop sharing here for a minute. Comic-Cron, right?
Comic-Cron, yeah.
Comic-Cron. Let's see what they got.
Kitty.
I'm not as good at these numbers as your boy Zach is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been lucky enough to be privy to this info for being on the Allegiance team. So I know I've talked to some people and said what they're doing is going to be really cool. I can't wait till they say it. I'm glad the cat's finally out of the bag, because I haven't felt near the pressure that Mitch and Elizabeth have in holding this to their chest. But
Wow.
I think it's great. It's going to put a lot of comics in front of a lot of people that don't even know comics exist anymore. So
Right.
it's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
really interested to see how the sales follow here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm really excited about the eye they have for these teams they've put together. Is really nice. The stories they chose to do and the aesthetics they gave each one is really artful and bold. It's pretty good direction. I don't know. Well, I think it's kind of cool that they're kind of bringing like energetic, artful, fun comics back in to see what happens. I mean, this is pretty big. This is huge.
Yeah. So here, and chat, you can help me as well from home. I'm just trying to look at these numbers and make some sense of them. So this is the all-time of 2019. So this is not the current month or anything like that. This is all-time 2019 so far sales. And so units, that is presumably books that were shipped to comic shops, not necessarily purchased by customers. But there's 574,000 is Detective Comics 1 or Detective Comics 1000, excuse me. That's still not a million. That's one book though.
Yeah, the way I would assume is that 1 million of the 4 books, so maybe 250,000 each. This is all like I said, I don't know. That was where my mind went. Okay, 250,000. I didn't run the numbers. How many of that is split by 4,000 across the different stores? Like, how does that work? I don't know. I didn't.
And if it is around 250,000, like number 2 on the spot is Spawn 300. That's 262,000 for that one book. But I guess what is so amazing to me is I'm just looking compared to the Comic-Con sales numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal. Like that's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a good. I guess I can say we. I mean, I guess I'm just a freelancer, but we've got a good not publisher, distributor on hand. So yeah. It's not what people were thinking, which is good.
Yeah.
It's good. They're taking it in a new direction, a direction it needs to go in, I think. When he told me, I was like, this is perfect. We're going to get people to see comic books out in the wild again and not at garage sales.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. And I get the first comic that I bought was at a dollar store. And I don't know how often they do that or how that happens, but it was a mini, I don't know what they call it. It was Amazing Fantasy 15 and then Amazing Spider-Man #1. Just those two combined into this like smaller sized comic.
Wow, that must be worth like $4 million. Those are some pretty hefty issues you got going there.
Yeah, they were reprints, half size reprint thing. But I read it and I was like, oh, this is cool. It was just something, I don't know, to me it was just like, oh, this is how old Spider-Man was. That's fun. I wonder what new Spider-Man is like.
Yeah.
And that's what did it, So yeah, I don't know. I think it's important. Dollar stores, I would do that.
Yeah, dollar stores are a good idea. Retail, just that word alone is good. It's good for comics.
Yeah, absolutely. Dora McComic blog. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading it. Will Red Rooster come out with the Indiegogo and a multi-part floppy comic at the same time? I have no idea. I do not know.
Well,
I think
hang on, I have a sore throat. I don't want to put the wrong info out there, but
yeah,
the Indiegogo is the 60-page Golden Age story. And that's going to be one book. The retail stuff is the 24-page books. So I think what he said is when it hits retail, the first 24 is going to go to all backers as a digital, and then so you'll at least have that story, and then you get all the backers are still going to get that 60-page giant oversized special
when it's finished.
Yeah,
but the other books, they're finished. They're just regular, like, issue by issue, 6 issues coming out.
Yeah, so like they're all going in that direction, even Red Rooster. So
yeah,
they're all going to be released on their schedule, issue by issue, together, I assume. I feel like I might be putting out incorrect info, so don't hold me to any of this. It's been a while since I've had a one-on-one with Mitch. So,
yeah.
but yeah, they'll be at the stores, all on the end caps at these retail stores, like he said, together. So you'll see Red Rooster and Norse Saga, Past Reeves, and the Futurist all just there. And then there'll be issue 1, and then, the next month or however long it'll be issue 2, and then for 6 issues, and then there'll be a 2 or 3 month break, and then season 2 starts. So there's going to be a cycle of new issues coming and going. And I hope that they continue with like what Image does, like what Robert Kirkman started with The Walking Dead. Those 6 issues get put into 2 trades and 1 hardcover. And they're always in print. I hope that that's what we see.
Yeah. Now, at the least here, I just crunched some numbers, so that makes me sound smarter than I am. So in total, let's pretend worst case scenario that the 100 purchase order for 100 books is all 4 titles, all 6 issues for each. That's 24 individual books. That means on average, each book is getting 41,666 666 sales.
That's 7 in there on the end.
7. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So if that's the case, then that I'm just for fun here. Why not? None of this is scientific. I hope no one's taking this too seriously, because I'm just kind of having fun. So yeah, if that's how the numbers actually panned out, it would be on the next page. Next. Oh, this is all time, not the month though. This is all time.
Yeah, get it straight.
Yeah, man, I got to get this worked out.
Very
I tell
scientific of you.
I've only done a few there we go, monthly sales, a few videos on Comic-Con. It's just not really my thing, because I guess I haven't been in here enough to really feel like I understand 2019. And we don't want all time. We want, is this all time?
This is riveting radio here, by the way. Is it radio? Yeah. Video? I don't know. What are we doing?
Live streaming.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking, so you guys keep everyone entertained.
Let me entertain you by telling you a story about how I'm going to restart inking this page. Because here's the deal. When I've been lettering for so long, and I'm ready to get this thing going, this piece of artwork that I can't show you. So I've been inking.
It's like riding a bike.
Dude, I got to get the kinks out. I'm going to probably ink this page 3 times before I get it finished. For real. I wish I could show you, but I can't.
Well, after that, the next page will be easier. And then the next one will be easier. And then you'll get your flow back.
I'm trying to figure
get your ink flow back.
I'm trying to figure, because I used a brush forever. Now I'm kind of doing a hybrid of brushes and pens, and it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you're at the same stage I was in recently when I decided to digitally ink something for the first time. And dang, like, dude, I was nervous, man. I was like, it's been a while since I've used my tablet. My tablet's all old and lumpy. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And then I just made myself do it. And the inks came out okay. Like, exactly. Always have Palpatine over your shoulder, man. He's a good angel that shoots lightning.
Like this.
Yeah.
If you've seen the leaks.
Raise the roof. Raise the roof.
Ray is the roof, isn't she?
Ray is the roof. Well, Ray broke the roof, the glass roof, sisters.
Oh, yeah. Girl power. And every time I just got to remember the boys playing the pool with their heads. That's real.
Don't forget. We'll put you in our place with our human pool.
Will be boys.
All right. Okay. So here I found the correct numbers. Here's the correct numbers. So Tony Stark Iron Man, that's in 37th place or 40th place. I've still never figured this out, which is which. It doesn't matter. That's the same sales numbers. That's where it would fall on IndieCron if each book, if we just averaged it out and each book sold 41.
Hey, that put them
1,000.
on the Casey Kasem top 40.
Yes. That's a big deal. That's significant. And that's
I like
not in
Casey Kasem.
comic shops. But do you know, or can you say, are the books going to
Casey
actually
Kasem.
also go into comic shops? Diamond Direct Market?
Yeah, they're gonna figure out how that's gonna work because they.
All right.
I think Mitch said that he's not certain that. No, it was Elizabeth said in a chat that when Mitch was live streaming earlier that they're not sure if Diamond would even take them,
Oh, yeah.
but they'll figure
Why?
something out.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought as long as you pay them, then you go. You get to go.
Well, they'll get down that road. I don't think they are too worried.
They
about
should.
it.
They should be like outside of Diamond's grasp.
And there's going to be there are going to be more. It's going to be more than just retail. They'll have an online store on the website when that gets up and running and all of that. It's all very,
Yeah.
try to get every avenue that you can. I say.
Yeah. No, exactly. And it's really interesting to me to see how it compares. And I guess at the end of 6 months, really, that's when we'll know how it goes. But I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm definitely going to be watching it closely. I'll have my eye on it. Apparently, like literally everybody else. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, definitely. If anybody watching this now, later, whatever, when you see these at the store, buy them because it's going to be better for the industry as a whole.
Yep.
If this comes back, this is going to be a big boom for comics again.
how many people don't know that they make comics anymore? I've heard that so many times,
Yeah.
just in my comment section, even from people that just pop by to watch a video for some reason, and I don't know how they find it, but
Mm-hmm.
they're finding it, but they're not finding comics anywhere.
Right. I mean, I think every creator has had that conversation where, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work in comics. I do yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
Somebody in their life had said, I didn't even know they still made comic books.
right.
So it's not in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's something that's interesting to think about. Now that Marvel has like gone full Kevin Feige, like directing everything, they're now an IP farm. They're just gonna everything's in dedication to the films to make billions of dollars, and so it's a machine for movies. And then everyone else who isn't Marvel, well, no, DC you could argue is doing the same thing to try to keep up with Marvel and stuff, and that's where they get those movie deals, is where they get the big bursts of cash, I guess. But here's the thing, like all the indie people are trying for Netflix. So while they're all obsessed with like being these like can't wait to break into Hollywood and get addicted to coke and die alone, like we're over here going, hey, we're gonna do the actual comic thing and a lot of fans are gonna come over. We just have to find that way that breaks through with a new generation of fans too.
Yeah.
The ones that are usually reading manga need to go, oh, there's some cool stuff happening in America right now that's kind of far out and awesome and different and killing it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we have to do that too.
absolutely. Yeah, do you guys want to see the progress on this? I don't know if you've ever seen this. I think Eric,
That's
think you have at
cool.
least. Yeah,
I love this.
I've seen it. I haven't seen the flats, but I've seen this.
Yeah, these are flats, so this is
Remember,
not,
I know all the secrets.
yeah, you know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I DM'd this one too. I just like showing things off. What can I say?
Yeah,
I'm not
Cool.
I'm not one for secret projects, I guess. I always tell everybody what's going on. But yeah, this is Downcast Part 2. This will be the Matt Weldon cover, because to me it's like if you have a number 1 Matt Weldon cover but there's no number 2, I just like to have a matching set. It just feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt was kind enough to do the second one, and this is it, and it's just the flats right now, but it's just so
It looks
cool.
Great.
I was
love
like,
the depth. Oh,
yeah,
man.
he went way back there, and you got the clouds in the background that are kind of, I don't know, it
So
kind of
cool.
just looks like it's morphing into like mountains or something, but it's the clouds. Yeah.
Oh, and
it's-
Clint froze. The sweet tea is down and out.
Did
there
I?
you go. You're back.
Oh, wow, that's unfortunate. Well, I'm glad I'm back. Yeah. Anyway,
I heard.
It is
I
unfortunate.
heard
that you're
everything.
back.
I heard it all, and now
Heard
you're
it all.
back. Yeah, unfortunate.
Okay.
Oh, Eric. Oh,
Anyway.
white chocolate.
This was cool. I'm happy with it. Really cool stuff.
You gonna
It's
show-
awesome.
Are you gonna show him the other one?
The other cover. Oh, yeah. Why not?
Is there another one?
Yeah. Let me stop sharing for a minute. Yeah,
See,
I've got.
that's one here. You know, Clint, I gotta say, I'm a little miffed
Uh oh.
because not more than 15 minutes ago, you were like, "Hey, Von Klaus, what are you reading?" And he did his whole diatribe, and then you just changed subjects.
Oh, sorry. I do that. Eric, what are you reading?
The whole team
Why,
has
it's
to play for
funny
the
you
Bucks.
ask. Let me get this giant book that came in the mail today.
Eric. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Eric's
I
got it.
love this book. Look at that. He's having trouble with it. He's having to do multiple attempts.
Holy cow.
Whoa, it's up. It is up. He's doing reps. There's reps. I love it.
Whoa.
That's
You're
right.
not kidding.
Look
This
at
is not a
that.
camera trick.
Oh,
You could kill somebody with
book.
that thing.
Is 13 by 21,
Wow.
and it's 335 pages.
hold up that cover again real quick. Look at the size of Wolverine's chode. Look at that
Right
tape.
there.
Wolverine
There you
tape
go.
right up in there. Whoa, damn.
This is the
Not good.
incomplete Jim Lee X-Men
That's
run.
awesome.
I was a little miffed to find out that it stopped at X-Men number 3.
Oh,
So it like right before Omega Red.
Wow.
So let me see if I can.
They're saying that's
It's
a
story time. You ready for
freaking
story
tablet.
time? White
Stone
chocolate.
tablet.
It's enormous. I mean,
Wow.
that's so cool.
let
Is-
me give you an example of how enormous.
Is
That's
that
how. Is that like
11?
actual comic book size paper?
No, this is what. Hold on.
11 by
Okay.
17 set?
Yeah, American stuff.
That's huge. Yeah, that's a freaking
It's
stone
not
tablet.
11 by 17.
Okay.
It's bigger than
It's
11
bigger.
by 17.
Yeah, it is. It looks
They-
like it is.
They had to blow it up. Yeah, it's like
Looks
bigger
like
than
it.
your torso.
This
Actually.
is an unused page from Flying Fortress number 7.
Okay.
Ooh, behind the scenes.
11 by 17.
Dang.
Oh, look at that. That's
XXL.
juicy.
Let me
X-Men
just,
XXL. That's awesome.
Here,
That's so cool. Look at that. That's how all comics should be, man. They should be
all
these
be so
tomes.
big you can barely
Giant tome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
open them.
Yeah, that you hurt yourself when you read them. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is why I can't do digital comics because there's just something about seeing it in print.
Yeah.
And then especially
oh hey,
big
yeah,
like
put
that.
this on your 42-inch monitor and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I've done a lot of digital comics. It's hard. I like
Yeah, I've
print
done a
more.
few.
I appreciate this more.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at that. That's sweet.
I mean, check it out. Here's X-Men number 1.
Jim Lee's
Oh
great.
my god. Oh my god.
It's
Oh, yeah.
so beautiful.
He's so good. He's so good.
This is
Yeah.
I had to buy this. This was my you done a good job with the Flying Fortress there, and you need to
man.
treat yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and, I mean, Jim Lee's the reason I wanted to get into comics. So
Yeah.
I had to.
Those were such exciting times in comics. Like everyone
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like loving. Everybody loved
Yeah.
the book, and everybody
Yeah.
talked about it all the time. At least me and my circle of nerds.
and
We just
nobody,
loved it.
nobody draws like this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, my son, I'm like, he was flipping through it. He's like, it's so huge. I'm like, I know. I was like,
Yeah.
nobody does panel layouts like this. Nobody draws like this anymore. It's all garbage. You don't get these action scenes of giant guys with huge muscles and sexy women, and you don't get this anymore.
Yeah,
This-
Look at that Magneto.
yeah.
That's
You had
badass
the other page with Magneto, like in the middle. I forget which, I don't remember which direction it was, but Magneto, he just looked so bad. Like he was gonna,
Yeah.
magnetize something. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, Jim Lee, I don't know why there's a lot of people that do not like Jim Lee. I've always liked his art.
He was it for me, man. I tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
good.
one of my tops.
I mean,
He's one of
honestly,
my tops.
if he didn't exist, I don't know if
Huge
I'd be
fan.
here on this stream today.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Well,
let's
yeah,
see.
unfortunately, there's not a lot of extras, but that's why I have other books. So
Oh yeah. So here's the other cover.
Oh wow.
Nacho did this. It was kind of fun this time because I was just like, hey, you get the idea, you know what's going on, you've seen the script, just do a cover, whatever you think is fitting. And so he went with this really dramatic one. So yeah, I dig it. I like the color too. It's very moody. I don't know. It
It looks
sets
like
up
grape. It looks like grapes of wrath
kind of. It
with
does, yeah.
the floating sky. Yeah.
Yeah, minus
Apocalypse, grapes of wrath.
that. Yeah.
But I mean, the color tones do. It reminds me of that. It's cool
Yeah.
because it adds to. It's very interesting. It adds to this kind of somber mood that he's going for that you see in the character as well.
Yeah.
And yet it says apocalypse, and yet you're looking at this city, and you're like, certainly the city isn't apocalyptic. Like certainly it's nice and
Yeah.
high up above it all. You know, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the juxtaposition of
Yeah.
what the city is. They're very, very different, and everyone's always like, "What's below? What's underneath?" And then this book's
Really?
you're gonna see what's underneath. So
you know what I just realized?
Cool.
yeah,
First of all, I will say this, Clint. I haven't read Downcast yet.
you haven't read it.
I haven't read it yet.
He's lettered it.
I've lettered it, but I haven't read it yet because I want to read it. I want to read it when it's in print.
Yeah.
I think
realized
that's so
something.
cool.
I've had this book for years. I mean, it came out in 2004. Okay, this was right around the time when Hush was kicking off, right?
Oh wow.
So this book, it's just like all of these old Wizard articles about Jim Lee, and then it's a whole different thing, and then there's like a checklist and a bunch of like, this is what I drew like when I was 12, stuff like that. Covers and interior pages, just a wonderful book. But I realized something as I was looking for this is I sort of started my comics journey when I bought this book, and now I continue with that enormous thing right there.
Unfortunately,
It's like I'm turning over. It's like a new chapter in life.
when you retire, you're gonna have
That's
to get an even bigger Jim Lee
Yeah.
book.
A heavier, bigger,
It'll be like a coffin.
better.
When you
The
die,
definitive.
When I die, it will be a Jim Lee drawn coffin.
it won't be a tome. It'll be a tomb.
A
Literally.
tomb.
A tomb.
Whenever I hear people pronounce it that way, I'm like, no, it's not the same thing. But yeah, that's awesome.
Here's a rare Jim Lee Spider-Man
Ooh, that's cool.
That's
When-
and a rare Jim Lee Powerpuff Girls.
oh, it's,
Looks exactly like him.
there you go.
Yeah.
Early
Story time.
2000s, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Huh?
I said early 2000s. I'm guessing.
It doesn't have a date.
Huh.
He drew it for his daughters.
That makes sense. Or he has a secret plan to take over the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know.
Yeah,
Could be.
But look, I mean, this was the stuff that inspired me. It's like he drew like that, like when he was a kid.
Wow.
You know, like trying to do comics. It's like I could do this. I can make it happen. And then I didn't make it happen. But the dream is still alive.
Yeah, you're not too old. That's for
You're never
sure.
too old.
Yeah. Vault says, just slip your lifeless body between two giant pages. No one would find you either.
I
You'd be
will
set.
I will be cremated and then I will put my ashes into his ink. For some reason I feel like I'm dying before Jim Lee, and that might be a problem. He is like
Oh, man.
years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Don't do
Don't wanna
that.
die
I don't want to
first.
do that.
Don't do that.
All right. I don't have a campaign up.
I do.
I was gonna say, let's look at your campaigns. You know what though? I didn't realize how long
supposed to
like
do
the
that?
printing stuff would be in delays and things. So I'm like, I probably should have just left my campaign up, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, I think I'm going to close down on the 6th or the 9th or whatever that day is. The second Saturday.
Oh come on.
The 9th. No, Matt V, I don't have the icon book.
There we are. Oh, I gotta share my screen. My bad. Here we go. There's Flying Fortress.
Look at that gorgeous
Fortress.
of a book. You know, that one's going to be pretty heavy too. It's over 200 pages.
That's a substantial book.
Yeah. So I here's the deal. I've offloaded a lot of my my work from here on out. I hired a pre-press guy. I'm not doing it this time.
That's really funny because I hired you to do my.
I know, that's why. So I was like, I can't.
Wow.
You know, it's different, right? Because it's like I've been working on this book for like 10 years. So it's like it has been done and iterated upon, and it's like, for me, it's like I got to get it done. I think I know that this entire process is a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. I wasn't planning on doing anything other than relettering. And that means I wasn't planning on getting an editor, and I did, and that changed a whole lot of stuff. So it's sort of, there were a lot of revisions and changing of dialogue. He gave Glosson, the guy on the cover with the bat, he gave him, you know, he wears a Bronx, he writes Bronx, New York with a skull. That's on the back of his jacket. So he gave him a sort of, you know, New York accent. And so that changes his mannerism or his method of speaking. So there's a lot of that back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's taken longer, but all for the better. So, you know, the plan was, hey, you know, you got this book, it's done, you know, do a quick Indiegogo, build an audience for Oz, because Oz is the main important, is the, you know, the belle of the ball here. But, you know, we'll it's definitely pushed Oz back further than I would have hoped, but all for the best, hopefully.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, some of this, I'd really like to just do, like, write myself an 8-page story and just try it, because just to learn, you know what I mean?
To draw one?
Yeah, just draw one. I don't know. Every time I look, I'm like, I just want to, that would be so fun. Not like it's going to be published or anything, but just
That's how I started, man.
You got to learn, right?
I mean, anybody that ever comes to me and says, how do you start making comics? I have I have an idea for a comic book. How do I start? I always tell them, make an 8-page comic, make an 8-page story, and either put it online, or, you know, get a long stapler and make your own custom comic books. That's what I did with Flying Fortress issue 0. It was an 8-page story. It's going to be probably in the back of the book. It was just sort of like, these are the characters. This guy has a bad dream about zombies, and he wakes up and is like, oh no, I had a bad dream about zombies. It was sort of like a precursor to what the book was going to be. It didn't end up being that. But I always encourage anybody to just do it. Do it.
Yeah, it's tough, but
it
it's
is
worth
tough,
it.
But you learn so much. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't do that.
They say once you've drawn 100 comic pages, that's when you'll start drawing your ones that are good enough.
You know what?
That's when you'll
be ready. 100% true. And you will notice when you get Flying Fortress, if you haven't backed it, you better do it. When volume 2 starts, when chapter 5 starts, the art is light years ahead of everything before it. And even that, as of today, is like 5 years old. So you guys haven't seen it. You haven't seen the last of me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the thing is, you've got books coming out, you know, like you just think of all the experience you've had between then and there, but I mean, you're just going to be doing more books. There's no reason why you wouldn't be, you know?
Right. If it's kind of funny, like I spent 10 years trying to like make it as a comic book artist with this book, and then there'd be a freelance job here or there.
Yeah.
Get a commission here or there. I did cons, and I always did okay at cons. I made enough to do the next con and, you know, maybe have a couple $100 in my pocket. It wasn't outstanding, but it wasn't until Comicsgate came along and they needed a letterer that I was able to, you know.
And you just answered the call, man.
I did.
How much lettering experience did you have? because the way you came in, you must have done something right, because I didn't know you, but I remember thinking this guy's a pro, like
8
right
issues of
away.
Flying Fortress. And
Okay.
1 issue of a book called Frank and Nant, and about 3 issues. Actually, at the time, probably 1 or 2 issues of a book called Avior, which I'm still
Okay.
currently lettering.
Wow.
And
The
you
one
know,
that
it's
never
all
stops
very much.
being lettered.
It was like everything. I just learned on the job. I wanted it to. I had a very solid idea of what I wanted my pages to look like. You know,
Yeah.
everything had to be perfect, and then the
course.
coloring had to be just right. I wanted it to look just right. I never handed it off to anybody. 1, because I couldn't afford it, and 2, it was the thing is I had to do it myself. I knew what I wanted it to look like. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's how that
so
goes.
10 different issues under my belt, and like Flying Fortress, I had even relettered.
How many pages? And how many pages until a letterer is good enough?
Well, that's
When did you start feeling like you just had it?
I still feel like I'm improving even now. So
Oh wow. Okay.
but I will say, like, I'm very proud of what I've done with like Jawbreakers and Graveyard Shift.
Oh yeah.
And Downcast.
Sure.
Come on.
A lot of what I a lot of what I can say that helped me was actually John Malin, because he sat down. I did my first lettering pass. I think I did Jawbreakers first. I think I got that job done first. I know I did them right around the same time. It's hard to remember, but
Malin was a mentor.
He was.
That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah, we sat
He took the
down.
time.
With him. It was me and John and Mark, and he was like, "Let's go through this." And he'd say, and John's really particular about, he's an editor. If ever there was an editor, it's John Malin.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants stuff to look like. So he sat down. He's like, let's move the balloon here. It's just stuff I wouldn't have thought about, but he was a pro and he'd worked with letterers before, I assume. So we just sat down page by page through Graveyard Shift. He's like, "Yeah, you know what? What if we move this balloon here?" He was very much in like, what? Obviously, John Malin hates tangents, so he pointed out those he saw, and the more and more I do it, the less there were. There weren't a lot to begin with, but sometimes there's so much going on in the background that it's hard to, especially when it's like a line of like there's blinds in the background and you have to put a word balloon on there and you don't want tangents. That can be tricky. But he would be like, move this balloon here so it's centered between these two characters, between the character and the panel. Stuff that I hadn't really thought about. That now it's all about, when I'm lettering, like, make sure I do this X, Y, Z. So John Malin was a great mentor, and he's not even a letterer. So
yeah,
but
yeah, I mean,
I'm very proud of all that stuff. But I can't wait for you guys to see what I've been doing for Allegiance. I love that stuff.
I'm looking forward to reading all of them. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, man. Especially Monster MD. You like my segue?
That's right.
You like
I just posted the link in the chat, by the way, too. Monster MD.
Yeah, man. Monster MD's the best thing I've ever made. I can't believe I'm really happy that I'm giving like such a big book for my first book. Like I'm really going all out, and I think it shows. And so when you get 128 pages worth of content, I think that's a pretty good show. Compared to other books, it's like puts you in a little heavier weight class. And so I have more to prove, because I really want to come away from this being able to prove to everyone that I can write and I can create, and I have vision in ways that, you need to work with me. And that, you're going to want to see when I put out next. Hopefully, I hope the people really love this book as much as I love working on it, and just want to see further adventures, but also give other styles of things I'm going to write a chance. Because I could do more than just like hilarious horror comedy with a little bit of that nice dramatic human edge, because I don't want things to just be bland. It's horror comedy. It's all goofy. No, you need to have your moments of resonance and humanity that make you relate and get into these characters. I just don't ever want to commit that sin like so many writers do these days, So really adamant about that as a creator. And yeah, this is Marco Maccagni from Italy's on art, and he's incredible because I think this is the style of stuff he just likes to draw anyway. He's not drawing for me. This is Marco and me kind of working together to create this amazing world that you guys are seeing. Very detailed.
I just love this on the door. I just noticed it's the first time they live like from a zombie movie or something. It just like little detail. Every time I go through this, just little details that make me smile.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that makes me really happy to hear because that's exactly what I was going for. Like, I'm trying to make it one of those, because one of my favorite things in comics growing up was going back and looking again and seeing new little details. So I definitely went for that with this book. I want to bring that back. You don't see it enough, you know?
That's one thing that Ethan said that has really stuck with me is that he wanted to make Cyberfrog something that you'd go back and read and reread, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. Anyway,
go for
I
that.
don't know.
Figure out how to do that with everything you make, you know?
You got to seize the day, you know? That's the thing. This is why I'm like, I got to get more. I need more experience. I just got to write more. It's unfortunate. It's really Thrilling Comics did not reach its goal.
Oh, yes. Very sad.
I thought he was going to extend the campaign. I was thinking, and then I kind of just, I had stuff going on. So then I checked it today and I was like, oh no, it closed. So I feel bad because of that Silver Streak story is going to go unread unless I don't know. I'm hoping he regroups and posts it again maybe in a few months or something.
Yeah. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Here's a word of advice to anybody thinking about doing an Indiegogo campaign. Set aside all of the stuff that people say, Vaughn included, they say about the pre-campaign ramp up and teasing and all of that. All of that stuff's very, very important. But always know what you're going to do if it fails. Don't expect it to fund. Always have your plan B and your plan C. I have been a part of a couple of campaigns where one in particular comes to mind, where I felt like I was the only one saying, hey, all of this sounds good, but this is a high goal, and what if we don't meet it?
Yeah.
What's the plan? And the plan was, well, considering yada 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 XYZ, we think we're going to meet it. So I was like, so you don't know what you're going to do if you don't. Like, that's really something you guys got to consider.
Yeah.
And this isn't targeted at you, Clint, for the Thrilling Comics thing. It's just saying in general, everybody always think about what you want to do if the campaign fails. Do you want to relaunch? Do you want to fold it and say never mind?
Right.
Make it anyway.
Well, yeah, and immediately do a analysis, do a dissection.
Postmortem.
What didn't work? Yeah, do a postmortem. What didn't work on your campaign? What worked? What didn't work? What are other campaigns doing that are successful that you're not doing? Let's compare.
Yeah. Well, and it's also this is in general. We're speaking generally here. I have to say, if I was running I don't know. I have a specific way that I run my campaign, the thing is, I have failed, and so I know that feeling. But it's one of those things. Like I think if I didn't have that failed campaign in the first place, I wouldn't have had the successful campaign. Honestly, because the successful campaign, and that's like, I named the stream. People on Kiwi Farms were like, "How did this get funded?" Oh, it got funded in the first day. This is crazy, and that's why people were talking about it. But it was just basic crowdfunding stuff. It just takes a long time ahead of time, pushing it and promoting it ahead of time. And then there's also the fact that sometimes it's the market speaking, and they don't want the book.
That's true.
So
it's true. You gotta have that as a consideration.
So you're right. After you cut your campaign to pieces, then you got to cut your book to pieces, which can be very challenging as a creator to do. You have to start learning to let go of certain things, what works, what doesn't work, what you have to start learning all your elements. It's kind of like learning all your basics before you learn how to like really rock out on the guitar or whatever. Start with those basic power chords, man, and hit them hard and hit them right, make them sound good, and then learn how to. You'll get to soloing like Van Halen later. Like you'll get there.
Yeah. It's tough. I know that feeling. But yeah, that was the thing that was driving me. It was like I don't want to fail. That was so embarrassing when I had that card game. I just don't want to fail that. I don't want to have that feeling again. It was so embarrassing. It just felt like publicly, like the worst embarrassment ever. So bad. And so I don't know. It was like I gotta make it happen.
I don't know how you live with yourself.
Well, that's the question. I don't know.
I understand your embarrassment, but damn, there's just so many other campaigns out there where that just happens. It's forgotten. Like it's not like all those people are like to this day. They're like, I remember that campaign. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did we lose the sweetie?
Yeah,
There you are.
I'll be honest with Sweet Tea.
Sweet tea.
You can obviously you felt bad and that was your deal, but the only reason we know about that campaign is because you talk about it.
It was a good learning. It was
Yeah,
a good
absolutely.
learning experience.
Whereas I
Yeah,
have
exactly.
never had a campaign fail.
Right.
Just
Oh, that's what you're getting at. I see.
I'm just saying.
It's like I'm missing some
I've had, like,
subtext
6
here.
of
I don't.
them. They've all been.
yeah.
I'm kidding. I think Micah Curtis is in the chat, and he brings on a good point. And this is more related to story than campaign. But he says, "Well, there it is. One thing that helps is having an editor willing to tell you this
Yes.
doesn't work."
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I had
Look.
one line somebody told me that's cringe, and I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate that." I changed it. No more cringe. It's like you don't know. You try to take risks, and sometimes you just need someone to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my editor doesn't mess around. He'll just be like, I don't get any of this. And if I don't get it, general public not gonna get it. And you're just like, whoa, okay, geez.
Yeah.
So I appreciate him and his bluntness because it makes me work harder to make things better, to polish it up. So yeah, it's that's why editors are important, man, and they know their place as kind of the guy who's going to tell it to you straight and not just kiss your ass. That's not their job.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what you want.
Yep.
Cool. Well, we covered
And
everything.
it's not like it's public. It's in the emails. It's hidden. No one has to know. You took a beating.
Right. Well, and that's what you need. The second beating, I think, is getting the book out. I don't know. It's really been hitting me, but like, there's a lot of people that are going to read Downcast, and so it's just, I don't know. Like, I've been there before to small degrees, but not like this. At this level. So it'll just be interesting just to see the reactions, and then I'm sure you're going to get a little bit of everything, but.
Do you think that some people are going to give you like bad reviews just for political reasons, just to be nasty?
Absolutely, yeah. It'll
Yeah.
happen, and there will be people that are like, "Oh, this was amazing because I had them on stream and promoted their book or something." Like that'll happen too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you gotta kind of, I don't know. I think your boy Zach is a good example, but he watched every single review video of Jawbreakers, and he took it to heart, because I know he said that. He's looked at everything, and then once you start seeing patterns, I imagine, of people saying the same kinds of things or problems, you can't ignore that. That means something.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Ryan Miller Art says, "I definitely slander you, Clint." Why, thank you. Awesome. All right. Well, I don't know what happened to Eric, but it's a good place to end the stream. Vaughn, appreciate it.
White chocolate break. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It was a good talk.
Yeah. It's always fun. I just thought it'd be a good time. Oh, and there's Eric just in time.
Sorry,
Eric.
I was talking to the missus.
Oh yeah.
What I missed? Did we promote Flying Fortress more?
Yes, and you got another $30,000. Congratulations.
Hey, Eric, how does Mrs. Weathers feel about your Flying Fortress of a success?
She's very happy with it. She keeps asking me when I'm going to close it, though.
Yeah.
Then I'll
Yeah.
get like another 15 to 30 backers, and it'll be worth it. She's peeking at me right now.
Is he gonna close it?
Right now,
You'll
tonight.
get there. You'll get there.
No, it's gonna. I'm a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Couple more weeks. All right.
Yeah. It is nice, I have to say, like being in demand. It's like every month getting, or it's like every 4 weeks or something like that. You
Something
just
like
get
that, yeah.
a little bit more money deposited. You're like, oh, that's nice. That's
Mhm.
helpful. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just got mine today. It was nice.
oh yeah,
It did. It felt good.
yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I
Little shower.
didn't get
shower
one.
money.
I didn't get one.
Oh.
So yeah, it's like, oh man, I gotta get another campaign up, but it's not gonna happen this year. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too late this year. Here's the deal. I got
way too late.
My plan is to get Flying Fortress done and out the door before the end of the year. Tax purposes and all.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good place to end it.
We'll end it there then.
Yeah. Yeah. Death and taxes. That's the
Yeah.
end.
Well, thanks everybody for this impromptu stream. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, see y'all next time. Bye bye. End broadcast.